Ric Flair made his AEW debut on last week's Dynamite. He was Tony Khan's gift to Sting. And in his promo, he said that he wanted to come along for the ride with Sting as he heads towards retirement at Revolution next year, probably in March. And that seemed to indicate that this was not going to be just a one-off appearance. Well, now we know it's not a one-off because AEW has signed 74-year-old Ric Flair to a multi-year deal with Flair's new Woo Energy drink as the exclusive drink of AEW. I thought White Claw was the exclusive drink of AEW. I guess now it's Woo Energy. The official announcement says that during AEW show dates, select host venues will carry the clean energy drink at concession stands for fans to enjoy. In addition, the beverage will be stocked in the wrestlers' locker rooms and will also be seen on the announcers' desks during live broadcasts. Now, Flair had told Fox Business back in July, "It's me in a can, brother. That's how I define..." He's hanging out with Hogan too much. But that's how he defines it. It's me in a can. You better keep it out of the women's locker room then. So I had to look this up. I go on the Woo Energy site. They have the drink. It's like 3 flavors. I go on the site. I look it up. The ingredients include 7 different mushrooms. Now, these are functional mushrooms. These are not psychedelic mushrooms. That would be pretty funny. I mean, they got the locker room stocked with this stuff. They're on the announce desks. They start drinking these things. All of a sudden, we go live on Dynamite. See, now that's a live Dynamite I'd like to tune into. See Tony Schiavone tripping out on mushrooms. But they include chaga, red reishi, maitake, turkey tail, lion's mane, cordyceps. Cordyceps? I watched The Last of Us. I'm not drinking anything that has cordyceps in it. And go-to cola extract. Those are the mushrooms that are in the drink. It looks like it's only 30 calories per can. It's got 5,000% vitamin B12, 150 milligrams of caffeine. Ric Flair in a can does not sound very appealing to me. Neither does Ric Flair on AEW television. But this is something Tony Khan has wanted to do for a long time. He wanted to bring Ric Flair in. I mean, they've been friends for years. The only reason he didn't bring him in sooner is because the Dark Side of the Ring episode on the plane ride from Hell dropped, and they had to distance themselves from him because he was toxic. It brought all those stories back. Otherwise, he probably would have ended up managing Andrade. If he would have brought Flair in for a special appearance or two tied in with Sting, since Sting is retiring, that would be one thing. But now he's got him under contract for years. So long after Sting is gone, they're still going to be doing business with Ric Flair. I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up being some kind of play for Tony to try to lure Charlotte Flair away from WWE when her contract is up, now that he's got her father and her husband both under contract. The Fightful had more details about the deal. Sources close to Flair said that his contract is similar to the one Randy Savage had with WCW, where part of Flair's contract was also a deal with the energy drink that would cover a significant amount, if not all, of Flair's contractual salary for AEW. So basically, when Savage left WWE for WCW in '94, he took the Slim Jim sponsorship with him, which was a very lucrative deal. Eric Bischoff has talked about this. He has said that the sponsorship he brought with him covered 100% of Savage's WCW salary for at least a couple of years. They basically got Randy Savage for free. What Slim Jim wanted from them, Bischoff, he put a number on what it would cost. The number they gave Slim Jim was $750,000. That's the same thing Savage wanted from WCW. So they paid Savage $750,000, but then they got that same amount from Slim Jim to integrate the brand into their shows. They had to put the logo on the ring turnbuckles and the ring mats. On pay-per-views, there were no commercials. It was all stuff that was just integrated into the shows themselves. So the deal paid for itself. Flair's deal works in a similar way. And Flair has admitted that he and his business partner, they shopped the energy drink first to WWE. They passed. They were not interested. They have their own energy drink deal anyway with C4. That started earlier this year at SummerSlam, so there would have been a conflict there. So he wanted WWE. They said no. So he went to Tony Khan, and he got Tony Khan to say yes. But the Fightful report also says with regard to why AEW signed him to a multi-year deal, AEW sources cited the merchandising potential, being able to use him for merch, action figures, and video games. You know, when Sting signed with AEW, I said the same thing, why it was so smart for Tony Khan to bring him in. I didn't know how many matches he could wrestle. I didn't know if he would do anything other than cinematic stuff. But they were working on that damn video game, which took forever. And they were trying to get into action figures, which they did with Jazzwares. And I just thought, having Sting's likeness, that logo, the scorpion, the makeup, all of it, having that for merchandising was the smart play. And I had no idea he would be doing live matches and diving off balconies too. But I thought Sting still had value. I don't see what value Ric Flair brings to AEW in a deal like this, even if they are essentially getting him for free. Basically, if you think about it, it's like a Legends deal. It's like a WWE Legends deal. But I think they're overestimating his merch appeal. There's no evidence that he still has the ratings appeal that he used to have in WWE. They would trot him out there every now and then, and they would do a good number. There's no evidence of that anymore. He comes in with a ton of baggage, and he just is not the same performer that he used to be. The man is 74 years old. He's lost a lot of speed on his fastball. He should never set foot in the ring ever again for a match, ever. But he is very much open to the possibility. He told Mike Johnson in an interview with PW Insider this week that he has been cleared by his doctor to take bumps and perform in the ring. Cleared by what doctor? Dr. Robotnik? Dr. Pepper? What doctor? There's a big difference if you watch Ric Flair in that match last year. And he likes to talk about how it was just dehydration, and that's all it was. He was drinking alcohol all day, what else is new, and no water. So he was dehydrated. That's his excuse for his performance in that match. He may train. He may try to keep himself in good shape. I don't doubt that. But nobody who saw that match last year, no one in their right mind should ever even consider using Ric Flair in that capacity ever again. And I hope Tony Khan has enough sense to see that. Flair talks about how he doesn't hurt. A lot of wrestlers his age, they're in constant pain. He says, I'm not in any pain. He still has all of his body parts, nothing artificial. No hip replacement, no knee replacements. None of that stuff. The man was like Gumby for so many years. No major injuries outside of the broken back from the plane crash and a liver so black Hulk Hogan banned his daughter from marrying it. He's got all of his original body parts, including his helicopter. He can keep that in the hangar where it belongs. But keep him out of the ring. He told ESPN he wants to be a heel. He wants to have a promo battle with MJF. Fine. MJF would destroy him. And that might be entertaining for one segment. I still don't see the value in Tony Khan adding Ric Flair to his roster. When he brought in Ricky Steamboat over the summer, Steamboat made a few appearances, right? He took that beating from Ricky Starks, which wasn't even the plan. That still blows my mind, by the way. Steamboat said they wanted him basically to go over on Ricky Starks at the end of that segment, and Steamboat's like, yeah, but how does that benefit Ricky? I'm not going to be sticking around here. Ricky is. Ricky's the young guy on the roster. Why are we doing it this way? And he pitched the whole idea for Ricky Starks to whip him with the belt and get some heat out of it, and that was the smart play. It took Ricky Steamboat telling Tony Khan, hey, you know what? I think we should do it this way, for him to be like, you know what? You're right. Let's do it that way. Steamboat is 70 years old. Steamboat looks pretty good for his age. He can still move around. He doesn't look like he's half dead. There are ways to use legends in that role and take a few bumps if they can. I look at Flair and I don't see that. I don't see 70-year-old Ricky Steamboat. I see 74-year-old Ric Flair who looked like he was knocking on death's door. And again, I don't see the value in Tony Khan adding him to his roster. I don't see it.